Yo, get your ass out of the camera, boy. YouTube's gonna flag me, dude.
Oh my God.
Yo, we're rolling. All right, man, this is video number 2. Sorry, I'm holding my phone, I'm vlogging. I tried setting it up in the car here and it just would not stay. So it is Wednesday, I have upper. Today is the pull focused upper. You guys are probably seeing this on Sunday. So we're about to make shit happen. My eyes are a little red, I'm just tired, allergies are killing me, but we're still gonna progress. So I'm starting with wide grip row into lats, into probably chest. I recently switched back to upper lower. It's still the same, weak point focus, right? My weak points are my back. I wouldn't say my delts are a weak point. I'm trying to bring them up. Same with my triceps. I'm trying to bring everything up, right? It's a never-ending cycle. But we're about to kill it. I'm about to walk you guys kind of through my workout, show y'all what I got going, why I do certain things, rest times, all the above. Hopefully it's not too busy. Hopefully we can get in and out of there, do a little bit of posing, all the above. Yo, my arm is going numb. Fuck it though. Once I get to the gym, I'm gonna answer a few more questions that were left on that video. There's some good ones. I'm gonna briefly discuss them, and then we're gonna get in there, and then I got a grocery haul later in this video. Everything I eat in a week, right? Pretty staple items, some shit you've never seen. So that's kind of the plan for today. Something I feel like I always get asked is, how do I program a split for my weak points, right? My personal weak points. Because when you go online, right, you may see another creator, they have a split template, right? But maybe it's set up for chest focus, tricep focus, but maybe those aren't your weak points. So how do we program a split based on our personal weak points? So number one, no matter the split, your split doesn't matter as much as people make it seem, right? And I guess I kind of fall into that group, right? I make videos on all the splits, everything else, but it doesn't matter as much as people think, but you want to make sure you're on the right split, right? It needs to hit 2 to 3x frequency. That's the rate in which we're hitting each muscle group on our body on a weekly basis, right? So if I'm doing upper lower 6 times a week, I'm having 3 upper sessions, 3 lower. So that is 3x frequency. This is going to help, keep each muscle group constantly stimulated and growing throughout the week. If you're going 6 times a week, make sure your volume is in check. Number 2, you need to start every session with your weak point. The earlier you place a exercise in your session for that weak point, the more stimulus that point is going to receive, because you just got to the gym. You've recovered, hopefully. Your central nervous system is the most fresh during this time. So always start your sessions with your weak point. So today, back is my weak point. So I'm going in there and I'm doing, 2 sets of a wide grip row, followed by 2 sets of a close grip row and a lat pull down. And number 3, this is where we have to think for ourselves and try things out. I would try just slightly higher volume for your weak points, right? See if you can recover. So for me, I do 2 sets of everything for my weak points, right? I'm doing 2 sets of a wide grip row, 2 sets of a close grip row, 2 sets of a lat pull down. I can personally recover. Sure, right? More sets can equal more growth if you can recover. So try it out for yourself, see if you can recover or not, right? We want to make sure we're still consistently progressing, getting more reps, adding weight to that bar, even perfecting form. That's one of them and we can't neglect it. But if you're somebody who is brand new to the gym, right? Maybe you've been lifting for 2, 3, 4 months now, hyperfixating on weak points should not be your biggest focus unless you have a muscle group that is genetically behind, right? Something on your physique that just, even without, weight training, consistent weight training, it's behind. It's just a little bit smaller. Then we can, hyperfixate on that point if needed. But you're new to the gym. You haven't built the frame. We don't know what our true weak points are. I think once you hit, year 1, year 2, year 1, right, of consistent training, that's when we can then take a step back and say, okay, what are our weak points? What are we trying to bring up? As a gym beginner, it's more so, what points do we want to stand out more? So for me, right, I didn't hyperfixate on a certain weak point, but I was like, dude, I want big arms. So I had, arm focused sessions. Now I didn't know what I was doing when I was new to the gym. I was hitting arms 5 times a week, but that was my focus. Pair this with a good split, upper, lower, anterior, posterior, push, pull legs, upper, lower, push, pull legs. Arnold, dude, all these are good splits. And then, start your sessions with the point you want to focus. But when it comes to overall volume, and I get asked this a lot, how many sets and reps should I be doing? Guys, this is where we have to try things out for ourselves. I'd be leading you blind if I responded to your comment saying, hey, user 587, you should be doing 1 set for this muscle group and 2 sets for this muscle group in a single session. I just can't, man. That's where we got to try it out for ourselves. Something I advise doing is when you have a new program, try 2 sets of everything, run it for 2 weeks, see if you can and can't recover, see what muscle groups you can and can't recover from, right? So if you're recovering quick with your lats, doing 2 sets of a lat pull down and a high to low. All right, I just got to the gym and a question I got asked, number 1 was from Kai, and he said, what inspired you to start providing advice, inspiring, motivating other people? So I started lifting about 3 years ago, and for the first 2 years, I had no clue what I was doing. Now, I was training hard and I was eating relatively well. There was a time where I bulked heavily from 140 to 230. Diet was all right, but I was just eating anything in sight. And I remember it got to the point where I plateaued with everything. I wasn't growing. I wasn't, increasing weight in the gym, making any progress all around when I thought all external variables were in check, right? Sleep, water intake, diet, stuff like this. And I started doing more research, on how to break this plateau, because every time I hit a plateau, my first initial thought was more food, more food, more food. And for me, that was coming from fast food. So I started doing more research and I was confused. You had one group, you had the bro guys that didn't even know how to explain a shoulder press. And then you have the extreme science-based guys who are just overcomplicating some stuff. And for both sides, that's absolutely no hate. I learned a ton from the science-based guys, and I do learn some stuff from the bro science. The basics fucking work. If someone tells you they don't, they're capping their ass off. And I remember watching some of this science-based stuff, and I was just extremely confused. Man, what does this mean? What even is this? How can I apply it to my training? And then the bro guys, it's okay, I know how to shoulder press. I'm just looking for a way to break this plateau. I don't want to push, 2 grams of gear, what the bro guys are telling me to do. So I'm like, what if I find a good middle ground? Somewhere in between. And of course, there's a ton of other creators doing this. It's not like I'm the fucking holy grail, the inventor. Just finding a good middle ground, man. Making information easily digestible to the average gym goer. When you walk into a gym, there's maybe one person in there that cares about science-based lifting. The rest of the people, they don't. They don't. They just want to, and of course you could consider this science-based. They just want to train smart, get a good workout, get a pump, and leave. Something to see progress in. So how can I provide information that reaches them, right? That they can easily digest, understand, without throwing around big buzzwords, neuromechanical matching, stretch-mediated hypertrophy. Sure, these are things that are important to know, but people don't care. So what's some good advice I can, give to others that are in, maybe the same spot I was a year, 2 years ago, when I had no clue what I was doing in the gym, but I wanted to make progress. I wanted to get my dream physique. We still got a ways to go, but I made good progress since, training smart, making sure everything's reeled in. But the basics work. I grew a ton from doing 4 sets of 20, pure free weights, pure dumbbells, because it works. It does. Someone tells you differently, they're capping their ass off. So yeah, man, I would say what inspired me was just wanting to help people that maybe, have no clue what they're doing. They were in the same position I was. I always wanted to provide advice. I wish I had a physique where, and I think we all do, where we could just film ourselves posing in decent lighting and post it and it goes viral. But, TikTok, Instagram, social media pushes out the top 0.1%. So that's a little bit hard. So I just want to provide advice, help someone out, build a community. That's that, man. There's nothing that really inspired me, but just wanting to provide easily digestible information. Another thing I got is what got you into lifting? Let's see. So I've played every sport. I've played lacrosse, hockey, basketball, soccer, and I boxed. I sucked at all of them. I was all right at basketball. I was all right. And I was decent at boxing. And it was my boxing coach who got me into lifting. If I really think about it, I would show up to practice and, you know, we'd be sparring. I liked it, but I didn't have that like drive, you know. There'd be some days where I dread, you know, boxing. I just didn't have that passion for it like I do with lifting. And I remember I went in there one day and he was like, yo, like, you're skinny as fuck, dude. We're gonna lift today. I was like 140 pounds soaking wet. I'd pull up in these, you know, tight Under Armour compressions, like a baggy compression. And I remember he had me benching. We were doing like 4 sets of like 50 of the bar. And yeah, I had the tight Under Armour compression on. I would like carb up before. I'd eat a ton of Rice Krispies. And I remember I got like a crazy pump and I was like, damn man, I look better. Like I look bigger. I like how I feel. So I kept going into practice, but I kept asking him, hey man, can we lift today? You know, can we spam some curls? Can we bench? So I just kept doing it. And then I had a friend who lived in this like, you know, pretty high-end neighborhood. And they had like a community gym there. And then I knew the code to it. So I would leave boxing practice and then 5 minutes down the road was this, you know, little community gym. So I would go and lift there. And it was like a private gym. I could connect my phone to the speaker and just go at it, man. I would just spam arms. I didn't hit legs for my first 2 years of training and I didn't hit back for my first year because once again, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't even know how to set up a, you know, single arm row, a wide grip row on cables. That's how dumb I was, man. I didn't know what I was doing. And that's another reason why I'm trying to bring up my back. It's behind. So yeah, it was really my boxing coach who got me into lifting. And I always, when I was younger, and I know so many of you guys can relate, I hated how I looked, man. Hated it. Bad acne, you know, really skinny. This arm, since I can't turn it all the way, the radial and ulnar bone are fused together. It was just a small arm. I hated how I looked. I didn't like it. So I got into lifting. Was a very insecure kid. Just wanted to be bigger, grow, have something to see, you know, consistent progress in my day-to-day life. And I started seeing that through the gym and it became addicting. I liked it and I've stuck to it since. Had lots of ups and downs, but it's kind of at the point where I feel like the last 3 years of truly grinding in the gym, going all in, you know, keeping a pretty small group, feels like it's finally starting to pay off. And it's all due to absolutely every one of you guys for supporting me and for making this shit possible. I still got a long way to go, but I'm beyond proud of where I've came from. As I said in my last video, man, if any of you guys need help with anything, here are my socials. They're in the description too. Please reach out. Please reach out. As long as it's, hey man, can you rate my entire program? I can't do that. I'm sorry guys, I wish I could. But if you need help with absolutely anything regarding fitness, even, you know, advice outside of fitness, I'm not the best at advice, but that's why I'm trying to provide it on here. Practice it to become better, like anything in life. The more you put in, the more you get out. Let's fucking go in there. My pre-workout's kicking. I'm burping. I can't digest from my 50 grams of carbs, so let's get it. All right, starting this off with 2 sets of lat pull down. This is a back off set, so I'm doing 120 and 2.5. I'm gonna try to get this for 8. Usually I start with a wide grip row, but it was taken, so we're doing this. I gotta bring up my lats anyway. The whole goal here is to keep your torso upright, try to minimize sway, and then pull your upper arm to your lat, driving it into your side. Damn, these grips. Okay. No, it's light. Fuck it. Oh. That felt so much lighter than like 135. Yeah, that felt good. All right. All right, we're doing a back off set now. Just did my top set, 2 plates, 35, 2.5. Got it for 10. So we're dropping down about what, 10, 15%. Gonna throw on 25 and the 2.5. This I'm gonna try to get for 8, and starting with my weaker side, my left side. All right, 8's the magic number. Keeping my torso upright, driving this upper arm right into my side. I'm not extending beyond this point because my scapula is gonna start retracting. We wanna keep it depressed. Yep. Fuck. We're like a rep short. Yeah, no. I could have gotten that. So now moving on to my stronger side, and I'm getting 7 on it, just matching reps. I don't want to make my muscle imbalance worse by then getting 8 or 9 on this side, even though I know I could. So that's the goal here. Then we're moving on to the row. Had to go out of order. I got this for like 7, so I'm going back down to plate and a 25. This is such a humbling machine. You could add like a pound to each side and it makes a hell of a difference. So we're throwing on a 25. Gonna try to get 7 to 8. The whole goal here is, right, keeping your elbows flared at that 45 to 90 degree angle, preferably 90, and then driving back, pinching your shoulder blades together like that. We don't want them tucked in. Then we're performing more shoulder extension for the upper lats. This is for the traps and rhomboids, not your lats. And that's kind of a mistake I make sometimes. I go really heavy, and once I hit rip like 4, 5, 6, it starts to go from here to more here. My chest is kind of coming off the pad. Now, something I do live by to an extent is, yes, reps in reserve is a tool to use when needed, but I'd rather have my form break down a tiny bit on the last rep and get it than save a rep in reserve. That's just how I personally train. Now, I'm gonna save a rep in reserve if I truly can't recover, right? If I'm doing this and one session I'm hitting 7, then I'm hitting 6, then 5, then I'm saving a rep in reserve. But right now it's been fine, so I'm gonna go to failure if form breaks down just a little bit. I still got it. That's just how I lift. It's how I've always lifted. Probably doesn't work for me, but I enjoy it, man. Preferability is huge. If there's a creator that says otherwise, the physique probably checks out, and it's just cope. Preferability is everything. So let's throw in another 25. It is now time for the test and mast. Test and mast. Come on, motherfucker. Come on, motherfucker. Yo, where's my other AirPod? Around here somewhere. What song is it giving us? Shit buns. This shit buns anyway. All right. Drive elbows up. Okay. Oh. All right. Oh, and when doing this, make sure, right, kind of your lower chest is resting on it, and then kind of your upper pec is hanging off. We don't want to turn it into a sternum support. Okay. 1, 2, 3, don't be a bitch. Oh, fuck. That felt a little sloppy. I'll have to look back at the video, but that felt a little bit off. I feel like I could have retracted more, and my elbows could have been more flared, but okay. So I kind of went out of order. If you guys see my TikTok, I start with this. Usually I just format the video like that, but today I did lat pull down, close grip, and now wide grip. No, you're good, man. What's up? You're good, man. You're good. Nah, man, you're good. How you doing?
Good. I actually just got done recording myself.
Oh, really?
Did
you record the whole thing?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I'm gonna do some cardio. I'm gonna see if I have the energy to post while I'm on the cardio.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I'm making a YouTube video. I got an editor.
What's up,
so
guy?
I'm gonna put your user in the video,
Oh,
man.
appreciate it.
I got you, man, for sure.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm just hitting.
Goat right here.
Nah, man, this is the goat. This is the guy I was telling you all
I
about.
lost
This is John,
100 pounds
man.
for This guy.
Man, no, that's you, man. That's all hard work. Oh,
No, man, keep grinding.
thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm hyped to see that video.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it in a little bit.
For sure, I'm so hyped, man. Oh, have a good one. Oh, all right. Now we're doing a pec deck fly. This is the back off set. My top set was 425. It's 425. We got that for 10. So now I'm doing a back off, drop the plate. Really focusing on form here. Well, we always should, but making sure my back does not come off this pad. I'm not slouching forward. We're keeping our elbows bent, crossing over just to here. I try to stop once this hand is in line with this pec, right? My non-working pec. And I do this single arm because I have a muscle imbalance and I'm trying to bring up my chest. I can recover from, 3 to 4 unilateral movements in my program. So I'm gonna try to get this side for 8. And this is a very good exercise to do unilateral, especially on a machine like this where you can wrap your arm around it. So let's fucking get it. Oh, come on, motherfucker. One more. Oh, holy fuck. Now it's time for the other side. Gotta match reps. All right, so to fully elaborate on what I was saying in the car, another question I got was how long I've been lifting. So I've been lifting for 3 years total, like exactly. Yeah, my first year, I was just hammering arms and just chasing a pump. I remember I discovered this stuff called beetroot powder at Walmart. Dude, I started taking this stuff before I worked out. It was like, dude, I'd get the craziest pumps. And that's really what got me into lifting, chasing pumps, just getting bigger. That's what it's all about. So yeah, lifting for 3 years. First 2 years, I didn't know what I was really doing. But the one thing I did have was just intensity, training hard. I never focused on progressive overload, but I'd go, as heavy as I could. I got hooked on benching for a while, incline benching. I was chasing that a lot. So I started out lifting at 140 pounds, bulked for a whole year, got up to 230. I was like 25% body fat, 30%. It wasn't a good look at all. Then I cut down, did a very aggressive deficit. I looked decent after this. I lost a ton of strength. I think at my peak, I was benching 265 for 10 on incline about a year and a half into training. And it shot down, man. It shot down. I was back at like 225 for 10. So that was pretty bad. And it was after that point where I started training a little bit smarter. I've been doing upper lower for a year now, and by far I've made the most progress on this split. The whole goal here is just progressing, right? Every session trying to progress with better form, more reps, and the best out of the bunch, more weight added onto the bar. So I only do one set of this. My top set is 3 plates and a 35. Just warming up. This is my first warm-up set, doing 2 plates. As I said, I'm only doing 1, so I'm gonna throw it in the TikTok video, but just know, after my pec fly, I'm doing 1 set of an incline press for those of you who want to use this routine. And here's kind of how form should look. Elbows tucked in, back stays down on this pad. We're not flaring out, and we're pressing to the sky. Oh, that feels heavy today. It's 2 fucking plates. Just like that. First warm-up set, damn, I guess I didn't count. First warm-up set, we're doing 6 to 8 reps at 50% of working weight, and then I rest 2 to 3 minutes, and then I do my second warm-up set at 80% of my total working weight for 2 to 3 reps. So yeah. All right, before I go into shoulder press, starting with our isolation, lateral raise. I do this single arm with a cuff. So I'm gonna start with our weak side. This is my second set. I got 225. So about to do this. Try to get this for 8 good reps without shrugging it up. Okay, raising the scapular plane kind of out in front of you rather than right to the side. Fuck it. And after shoulder press, moving into triceps, we got 2 sets of a tricep extension. I just did both of my first sets on my weaker side. I got 90 for 10. So now we're gonna back off here. We're gonna go down to 80.25 for hopefully 8. The whole goal here is I use a cuff. I place the cuff right here, about 1 inch up on my wrist. I'm locking my upper arm into my side. It's staying stable. Scapula staying down and back. And I'm extending from this point. The only thing moving is, you know, my forearm. We're doing elbow extension here. So cuff in. Let's get fucking 8. Locked in. Okay, that was 7. I'll take it. Damn it, man. We're up short, but we'll take it. Now we're moving on to dips. 4 something, 465. Dude, I regressed on this. That was not the best set. So I'm doing 1 more and I'm about to drop down to 4 plates. Try to get that for 8 clean reps. So whenever I do a back off, I'm always trying to hit the higher number in my personal rep range. So for me, that's 8. For some people, that may be 12. And with this, we can let our elbows flare a little bit, but we're trying to keep our torso upright. And then we're pushing down with kind of our upper arm, our forearm, more so our forearm. Whew. And with this, if you get bad wrist pain, instead of pushing it down with your palms, kind of tilt it down so your wrists are facing like the ground almost. Let's get this. Okay. Okay, that was 8. That was our back off. Now we're about to move on to preachers, get a good pump, and go pose. I found some new lighting at this gym. It's pretty good, but lighting all around is pretty shit. I would be posing downstairs in the locker room. It's all right, but sometimes I kind of feel like an ass doing it when everyone's trying to go into the pool and stuff, and I'm just there fucking posing at 20% body fat. Whew. But yeah, top set was aight, back off was good. So we're gonna move into preachers. My weakest movement, my biceps are my strongest point, but my preacher curls are really strong. So as I was saying in the car, I can only turn this arm halfway, right? This radial and ulnar bone are fused together. So biceps are really hard. I have to almost dip this arm in and then I can do it like so. So we're moving on to that. All right, to finish this session off, ending with 2 sets of preacher curls. This is my second set. So we're gonna try to get this for 8.
keeping good form, keeping our elbows on the pad, making sure we're not slouching too far forward. Whew. And then it's time to pose. I can't risk it with my biceps, man, but if y'all saw there, kind of have to dip this arm in order to keep it on kind of that supinated path for the biceps, of course. So that was it for my workout. I'll give today's session I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't crazy. I didn't progress with anything. I kind of regressed. I think sleep has been off, but still got after it. Now let's go pose and see the pump. Everything I eat is the world's youngest, world's biggest bodybuilder. 20 years old. All right, part 2, everything I eat. Throughout my week on a daily basis, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. So right here we got, all they had at the store was 92.8 beef. Usually I eat 93.7, but that 1% difference is minimal. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the one I usually get. I don't think it's like grass-fed or anything. I ain't paying more for that. So we're getting the one with the pesticides in it or whatever the fuck. What's that? 6, Sam, and 8. Try to guess how long it takes me to go through 8 packs of ground beef. If you get it right, you get, I don't know, something. But now, moving on. I eat these every morning, pre-lift. I got no appetite in the morning, so it's real easy to get bagels down. Thomas bagels. These ones are so-so. They're pretty good. 240 calories, 1.5 fat, 47 carbs. Yeah, 47 carbs. I had some guy comment on my video saying, dude, those bagels aren't 47 grams of carbs. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 47. So super easy to get down. You can throw a banana on them, honey. I usually put 2 tablespoons of honey on it. Easy 100 grams of carbs. Extremely easy, easy to get down. Calorie packed if you're bulking. I always advise bagels. So we got one of those. This lasts me like 2 days. I don't know why I didn't get more, and there's a few items I forgot that I was supposed to get. I'm gonna show you guys the total at the ends of this video. Dude, I don't know why I got these. I'm not even like the biggest Dr. Pepper fan, but it's creamy coconut flavor. I don't know what it is, but whenever I get something, you know, sweet, it's always the most like niche flavor. A flavor no one fucks with. But we got creamy coconut Dr. Pepper, so I'm gonna give that a try. And as y'all know, I stay locked in. It's why I'm the youngest, biggest 20-year-old bodybuilder. So, vanilla wafers. I eat like 3 a day with my yogurt bowl, right? Here they are. I'll put 2 of these in a bowl, right? The banana oikos. 3 of these in, 1 graham cracker, some 0, sugar chocolate sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey. I eat it whenever I get cravings, so I'll throw 3 of these in there. Guys, 3 Nilla wafers is not gonna kill you. We're not on a bodybuilding prep here. Just make sure you're tracking your stuff so you're not, 1,000 calories over or 1,000 calories under. We want everything locked in here. But one serving is 8 of these wafers, which is 140 calories, 1.5 fat, 10 grams sugar, 21 carbs. So with 3, I'm getting like, 30 calories, 2 grams fat, 10 carbs. Guys, it's not gonna kill you. And not that I advise coming home and eating, a bunch of sweets, crashing out on your diet. But if there's gonna be a time where you do want a little something, I advise eating it post-workout, right after you left, right before, maybe even in the gym too. That's the only time I advise. And then, as I just said, dude, these are so damn good. These Banana Oikos cups, 20 grams a cup, so easy to get your protein in. That's perfect. For me, I've never struggled with getting protein in. I probably eat too much, right? I'm at like 1.3 grams. There was a time in high school where I was eating 320 grams of protein a day. Carbs were a little bit lower, but I was getting like 6K calories a day in. Just hammering protein. I'd get the mass gainer stuff, the stuff you drink and you're burping forever, it doesn't digest. I'd be hammering that stuff. So don't advise, all you need is 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I'm 211 this morning. So I'm aiming for 211 grams of protein. If you're cutting and you want to push carbs a little bit higher, you can bump down to like 0.9 grams per pound, 0.8, and then jump carbs up. So we got, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Sam right there. Pair it with, I also throw a banana in this, parfait bowl I make. I eat like 2 of these a day, 1 with the pre-workout meal. And then usually I'll have this post-workout with some beef. Can't tell you how much I'm gonna have because I know some of you guys are gonna get the question right of how often it takes me to go through these, how quickly it takes me to go through these. So we got bananas, just 1 pack. I don't know why I got like 1 of everything. I go through food just a little quicker than that. So should have got 2 packs of these, but I hate going to the store. I dread it. It's always post-workout too. So I'm walking there with like gray sweats and there's just sweat all over the back. Hate that shit, but it doesn't matter. So gotta get it done. And to finish this off, dude, of course, jasmine rice, white rice. I have a rice cooker over there. Highly advise getting one. If you're relying on the 60-second, minute rice packets, this is a whole different ball game. Those packets suck. They're always dry. It's all like clumps together. It's just not the best. So this stuff, it tastes like I sat down at a restaurant and I ordered some rice there. It tastes great. Highly advise getting it, especially if it's just hard for you to get rice down. Get all your carbs in. Damn, I forgot potatoes. That's what I forgot. I forgot potatoes, seasoning, Cholula. That's the only hot sauce I like. If you don't mess with Cholula and you're, using Tabasco, stuff like that, you're crazy. So moving on. Oh, we did get, see, we thought smart. We thought ahead. More bananas, 2 packs of those, and 1 more pack of the plain bagels. So this right here, put that aside. This lasts about, what do we got? 6, 7. This is about like 3 days. This is about 3 days. This is like a month, right? I'm not sitting down eating a bunch of these. This is like a week. This bag of rice is about a week and a half. And plus with the niche creamy Dr. Peppers, the total is 118. Not bad, not the cheapest. I'm bulking right now. Ground beef is also at like an all-time high price-wise, I've heard. I remember the other day I checked out and it was like 11 bucks for one of these 92 8 packets. So a little bit pricey, but this will last a week, 118 bucks, nothing crazy. So that is what I eat pretty much every day, weekly basis. A question I got asked in the last video is how often do I have cheat meals? Now, a lot of my cheat meals are unplanned. The only time I would truly plan out my cheat meal is if I've been dieting for a while and I'm truly getting lean to the point where maybe it's starting to affect my cognitive function. and I'm really fatigued, that's probably when I'll throw in a planned cheat meal. But my cheat meals aren't crazy, right? I'm not going and eating a cheat meal and now I'm in a 2,000 calorie surplus, or it's steering me away from hitting my macro goals. It's unplanned, but I would say usually once a month I'll have a cheat meal, and I'm tracking all my calories leading up to that meal, making sure, I'm choosing something, A, that I like, but B, it fits my goals. I don't advise always having a cheat meal. I remember there was some guy who responded to the comment asking how often I have cheat meals, and he was like, dude, if you feel the need to have a cheat meal, you just don't want it bad enough. And then somebody else came in and was like talking shit or whatnot. Now, you got to live a little bit, but if your goal is to grow, to get bigger, to make progress, you should be pretty minimal with having cheat meals, right? If you've been dieting for a while, consistent with cardio, you're dropping weight like flies, you're dropping quickly, okay, that's when we can maybe throw a cheat meal in. If you're a week into dieting, we don't need a refeed day. We don't. If we're 20% body fat, just started our cut, get that thought out of your mind. Cheat meals once a month on average. Usually for me right now, it's Chipotle. Not gonna lie to you guys. I think I got like 2 Chipotle burritos the other day. It was like 35 bucks. Dude, shit is not cheap. But that's everything I eat. That was another question I got asked. That's how often I have cheat meals. Once a month, unplanned, nothing crazy. I'm still hitting my macros. Oh, and if y'all heard crying in the background, someone wants to go out.